Well, hello everybody. Happy New Year. It is January the 1st, 2024. Sitting in the sub-house, which hasn't got any sun in it. However, we do have a blue sky. And you're wondering what that noise is. It's because we've got an inflatable Santa here, as we've already seen right here back there. Although he'll be getting deflated for another year in a few days' time. So, quick roundup on what happened in 2023 in the witnessing world. If I've got this right, and I'm pretty sure I have, well, the thing that kicked it all off really was the shock announcement that Tony Morris was no longer a member of the governing body. I thought, to be honest with you, that would be the biggest event with the witnesses for the year. In fact, probably the biggest event with witnesses for several decades. However, despite me calling it, saying that it would actually be removed a few years before actually it happened, it wasn't, of course, the biggest story of the year. That was pretty big, and there's still no explanation, rhyme or reason why that happened. The worst thing about it, of course, was that it was announced officially, put on their JW .org news bit, but then of course it got dropped after a week, which meant once other witnesses, and of course a lot of elderly witnesses don't do the internet, but once it got to the other witnesses, if you heard Brother Morris is no longer a member of the governing body, when they went to check it, it wasn't there. So then instantly it became a conspiracy theory, which was propagated apparently by apostates. So when I actually went up to speak to people in the streets, they were totally oblivious to this happening, which shows how bad it is with the witnesses. So that was that. And then of course we had the next thing that happened was the shock announcement that of course they changed the thinking that if you left the witnesses, there was obviously plenty of time to come back if you just started to see the event being fulfilled and the start of the Great Tribulation. So what was it? Faith is the short expectation of evident reality of things, blah 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 blah. So in other words, this whole bollocks that you're supposed to have faith into something, that people who believe in something because they see it is just like a cop-out, and it should be people who believe in something that they can't really see yet. They've got stronger faith because they're believing something yet to be seen. But now it's a case of, oh no, it doesn't matter. You can once you start to see fulfillment, you can actually then have the time to come back and say, actually, I've changed my mind. Maybe this is true after all. So where was the faith for all those who faithfully have trying to do the right thing for 30, 40 years? They can just do the old prodigal son and just return and just say, jobs are good and I'm back, meat's back on the menu, boys. Bizarre. And then of course, not only changing that, but then they changed this whole thing about not having to report how many hours you spend in the service. You just tick this box to say yes, you did something, purely obviously because the witnesses don't want to report at the end of the year that the hours are just going that way. Not even flatlining, they're just going down in the scale. That's clearly the reason why, because obviously they're looking and thinking, oops, this is comparing it to previous years, and with COVID now well under control, people then thought, right, the hierarchy thought, dear me, do we want to report a loss? No, what can we get, how can we get around this one? Oh, I know, we'll just tick a box, and so that we can get away around that one. Really poor show. Again, if you're a Jehovah's Witness for years and years and years, felt under pressure to be putting in a certain amount of hours, because of course the elders in your group or as a body always looked at what hours you're doing, especially if you're a brother trying to reach out, you were made to feel under pressure and guilty. And sometimes I know people went out in the service when they should not have been doing it. They shouldn't have gone out in the service because of ill health, but they felt that guilty that they had to do something, otherwise they would have had nothing to report that month. But now of course all somebody has to do is just put one comment on one of my videos. So that's all of a sudden they've disappeared now, and you tick your box and say yes, I've taken part in some sort of witnessing activity this month. And of course the final draw jaw-dropping moment in the whole witnessing news of 2023 was, of course, the fact that all of a sudden, the new light that then became old light is now new light again. So beards are back in the menu, boys. Yes, it's absolutely incredible that for all those years of grief, of those standards set that no, brothers, if you're reaching out, you could not have a beard, you couldn't go have a position, you couldn't do the mics, you couldn't go on the platform, you couldn't be a servant. All of a sudden that's out the window. And what's going to happen next? Are they going to pull up brothers? Because some brothers are going to say, I tell you what, I'm going to go total, a full Monty beard and have a beard right out of here. A right big bushy beard, right big Santa beard. Sorry, brother, can we just pull you up at your beard's gone on the unacceptable length that is appropriate for a brother who's reaching out to become a servant. And I say, well, show me that. Show me in the Bible where it shows that having a beard, which is like 4 inches long and all around, it's not that in the Bible it says we can't do that because it's not there. Just like having to wear a tie, having to wear a suit, and so on and so on. If you're a Jehovah's Witness right now, you must be absolutely questioning what's going on in that organisation. However, as we know, you get so down this controlled environment that you're brought up not to question. So hey ho, maybe they don't. Who cares? It's just bizarre. Heaven knows what 2024 is going to bring. I thought 2023, I think in years to come, we'll look back in 2023 and say that was the defining change that all of a sudden, hopefully, people within the organisation started to question it as what happened at the end of 1975 for those of you who were there like me, that all of a sudden it came 75 and all of a sudden there were big gaps in the Kingdom Hall because all of a sudden people realised that they'd been conned, that obviously Armageddon never came in the autumn 75 whenever it's supposed to come again. So yeah, 2024, heaven knows what that's going to bring, we don't really know. Tonight, I think there may be a live stream with the Magnificent Seven. I may be making a guest appearance. I don't know. We'll wait and see. On a personal level, 2023, it started off badly. This time last year, I had cancer on my leg. I didn't know how that was going to work out. My son was still in Australia at that point. I was in a terrible job. And my prospects for the future were looking a bit shit. However, 2024, cancer-free, and I've now got a job between April and September, full-time, which I really enjoy. My son's back with us here till May, and hopefully we'll join him in August in America for 2 weeks. We're going on holiday as a family in March to the Canary Islands. Please be sunny. And I've got a lot to look forward to, I think, now. The only problem is the dickhead neighbour lives below is a bit of a cock. And my brother found out he got prostate cancer. He still got treatment for that. However, it is in our family. My father had it and his father had it. Although my father's 87 this year, so he survived having his prostate removed. And but my brother's decided not to go down that route. He's trying to go for radiation treatment next. And I found out that my father also is getting Alzheimer's disease. Well, I suppose he is 87. I didn't know this until his wife told me in a just a curious text to say that he's suffering from. Although I've been in this company twice the past few months. I was there Boxing Day with the family. Didn't see it. Yeah, he's forgetful of a few things, but he's 87, so he still knows who I am. He can still do a conversation. So so it's not that depressing, to be honest with you. He is 87. On a personal level as well, doing that horrible job for 18 months made me a better man, because I was definitely one of these people, sadly, who did seem to judge people who did dead-end jobs, like working in a cashier, doing that, and people who did clean toilets, went out and got shopping trolleys, or did do deliveries. People who were doing those sort of jobs, I took them for granted. I thought, well, maybe you've achieved what you can do in life. You are doing the job you should be doing. I not ever thought about the fact that these people probably hate the where they are. They probably had hopes and ambitions. Maybe they've got gifts. Maybe they've got qualities. Maybe they've got skills that, unfortunately, because of turn of events, that they unfortunately having to do a low-paid job And I never ever gave them a moment's thought about fun. I just probably just thought of, well, yeah, you're just doing what you should be doing. However, after doing that for 18 months and knowing that I had my own abilities and skills and desires, and still never thought I was washed up on the jobs market, doing that and having people treat me and look down at me when I used to do deliveries and go to their door, and the open door and says, here's here, and they go, no, can you put it there? No, not there, here. Oh no, actually, can you put it there? Well, they really treated you like shit, some people really did. And then it made me appreciate people who do that now. And so when people do deliveries, wherever they come, I always have a bit of time with them. I know time's very precious to them, and when I go shopping and see people do this, I always engage in conversation with them, that sort of thing. I've totally different people on it, because I was prejudiced against people like that, which is bad of me. But hey ho, I've got appreciation now of people who do those sorts of jobs, and people who find themselves in doing a job they can't get out of, and they just have to do it because they need to work. Unlike some lazy arsehole that we know, and his followers who've emulated him, who decide the best way forward is to not work at all and just send me the money. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. If you tune into, I don't know whose channel is it tonight, it might be Kim and Mikey's who's streaming live this evening. I think it's 8 o'clock in English time. I don't know what it is in other times around the world, but it's just 8 o'clock in England. If you go onto their channel, I think it is. So I may be on that. If I'm not on it, I'll definitely tune in anyway. And yeah, have a fantastic 2024. Upwards and onwards from this point onwards, I think, with a new sense of inspiration and positiveness, apart from, of course, my football team, who are absolutely shit. But anyway, apart from that, 2024, looking forward to it. See you later, and yeah, have a good one, everybody. Bye bye.